Rob O'Neill had 1 year of college under his belt, a job delivering pizzas, and only a basic grasp of swimming when a recruiter convinced him to enlist and become a Navy SEAL. By January 1996, after 5 months of intensive swim training, Rob found himself in Great Lakes, Illinois for Navy boot camp. But boot camp was nothing compared to what came next. BUDS, or Basic Underwater Demolition SEAL Training, puts recruits through some of the most grueling physical punishment anyone can endure.
1, 2.
Most recruits don't even pass the first phase, physical conditioning.
General workouts every day eventually wear into, 1,000 push-ups a day, 1,000 sit-ups a day, 1,000 flutter kicks a day, hundreds of pull-ups, a bunch of times around the big scary obstacle course. There's obstacles there. The first time you do it, if you fall off, you're going to break your neck. Miles and miles of soft sand, you're running in all the time. It's a mile from where we'd work out to the galley, so you're running 6 miles a day just to eat, and then the other 12 miles on top of that. Lots of swimming, lots of pool drills, and then just the instructors messing with you the whole time. You have to run everywhere. You can't walk anywhere. If you're going to do stuff, you're running, and the instructors will find you and drop you. And every time you drop, it's like 25 push-ups at first, and it goes to 35 and 50 as the phases go on. There's tests every single day, pass or fail, like the drown proofing, which is pretty famous, where they tie your hands behind your back and your feet together and throw in the water for 45 minutes at a time, probably, where like you're exhaling all the air so you can sink, kick off the bottom, come up and breathe. You have 10 minutes, swim the length of the pool. Floating's hard when you're tied up. They make you float for 5 minutes and you can't touch the bottom, and then swim down and grab a mask with your teeth and do flips, and then come up and show them, and then they let you out and untie you. And that's where a lot of people lose it, because for some reason I guess it's not natural to be tied up and thrown in a pool. There's a 5.5 nautical mile ocean swim for completion, 14-mile run at one point. We actually did the 5.5 mile swim twice in 4 days. There was a Friday that we did it, and the instructors didn't like us very much, and they said, as opposed to swimming with the current, we're going to go down to Mexico and swim back to Coronado, because the tides are going that way, even though for the past 2,000 years they haven't been. So we swam against the current, and we hit the time limit where hypothermia was setting no matter what you're wearing, 5.5 hours or whatever. And they pulled guys maybe 50 meters from the end. So we technically didn't finish it. So we came in Monday, and they were like, hey, we were going to have the dive physics class today, but instead, since we didn't finish the 5.5 mile swim, we're just going to do that. So go grab your fins. And that's probably the meanest thing anyone's ever done to me. Every week you have a tested 2-mile ocean swim for time, a tested 4-mile run for time, and the time decreases as you go on. And then in between these tests, you're doing calisthenics and getting your butt kicked.
Part of the way through physical conditioning comes Hell Week, 5.5 days of non-stop training, 20 hours a day, with at most 4 hours of sleep at night. During Hell Week, recruits run more than 200 miles.
The way that I remember feeling was, I know I have a past. I know I came from somewhere, but that's gone, and I have no future. I'm going to be in hell for the rest of my life. That's what it felt like. This is the worst place I've ever been. Until you get a day off, and it's the best thing you're doing. Because they give you weekends off because you need it to heal. So, the saying is everybody wants to be a frogman on Friday, especially when the sun's still out. And Sunday night, you're like, oh boy, here we go again. And yeah, it was just a miserable experience.
The next phase of SEAL training includes combat diving and scuba, where recruits learn to operate above water and deep beneath the surface. After that comes land warfare, explosives and weapons training, and small unit tactics, followed by 26 weeks of more advanced SEAL qualification training.
There never really was I'm sure I can do it. It's just I'm sure I'm not going to quit. And I don't know if that's part of the attitude here. I mean, I knew I wasn't going to, there was no chance of me quitting. They're going to throw me out or I'm going to get hurt. But I'm not going to just say you got better of me. And some good advice that was given to me, just little things like I had an instructor once tell me, I'm never going to ask you to do anything impossible. So it'll be really hard, but it's not impossible. You can do it, just don't quit. And then another guy said to me, I don't understand how you can quit, because when you quit, you take your helmet off and your name's on it, and you ring the bell, you put the helmet down, the helmets are in line. And someone just said to me, how can you quit and put a helmet with your father's name in the quitter's line? It's like, that's just good advice. 26 weeks into it, it's graduation week, it's like, holy crap, I'm going to make it.
And he did, but the training didn't end at graduation. Then it was off to parachute school and even more advanced pre-deployment courses.
You survived SEAL training. You become a Navy SEAL officially. What was your first job?
My first job, I was assigned to a platoon, Bravo platoon, SEAL Team 2. We went to the range and we were shooting Navy qualifications, and I was a pretty good shot. And I did so well, my boss said, well, this new guy's a good shooter, let's send him to sniper school. So during that first, they called it a workup, which is the training cycle a platoon does before it deploys. They sent me to Camp Atterbury, Indiana for Naval Special Warfare Scout Sniper School, and I became a sniper.
And soon the boy from Butte, Montana, who 1 year before had been delivering taco pizzas, was a Navy SEAL sniper.